Welcome back to the Fine Film Podcast. I'm your host, Sim Juric. Two special guests tonight, Dane B and Nan Vucic. Welcome back to the podcast, my friend.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back. Looking forward to this podcast.
Where have you been? You've been around?
I've been everywhere, man.
I've been everywhere, brother.
I've been to
so many places.
Yeah, I've been all over the shop.
So many places. It's great to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back.
We're going to do a big movie that's come out.
Huge movie.
A huge mistake. Probably one of the biggest movies of 2021.
Definitely my top two most anticipated of
The
the year.
trailer broke the Avengers Endgame trailer.
Did it?
For views. Yeah, so it's got the world record for most views.
No shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? If you haven't caught on yet, it's Spider-Man No Way Home. It's the fourth installment? No, third installment. Sorry.
Jesus
Third
Christ.
installment. Jon Watts is back. What a movie. What a movie.
Just before we start, heavy
spoiler warning.
It's going to be.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it,
things.
check it out first. Come back. It's going to be a heavy spoiler. We don't like to do the non-spoiler reviews. We will do it, but we will eventually get to that point. I think
2022 is going to be a big year.
We'll try different things.
We're talking money. We're talking new buildings.
Sponsorships, baby. But yeah, it's going to be a heavy spoiler review.
Discussion. I don't think we're going to review it as well.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Review discussion review. That's it. Wrap it up. Let's go around the table. Initial feelings.
Exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
Exceeded.
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's very rare
For a movie.
where you just kind of like so excited and then you go and then that goes beyond what you were like hoping that it'll be. But yeah.
Even though you knew, we didn't know 100% because it was...
You knew it was coming.
Denying from some actors.
Yeah.
Social media. I still like that they kept saying no.
One in
But
particular.
then when it happened,
yeah,
it still felt like a shock.
God, I wanted it to be true, and it was true. God damn it!
I just do you like just I guess we'll talk about it now. But do you, like what are your thoughts? I hate the whole internet age and leaks and spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
Like imagine that reveal if you knew nothing about it.
How good it would have been.
Imagine that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
because
I went into it as well.
Knowing or expecting?
No, I think I knew from something happened that I knew Garfield was in it 100%.
Okay.
I knew he was in it.
See like an image or something?
Yeah, something popped up on Facebook. It was like a meme. It wasn't the leak. It was a meme, but that meme kind of put seeded my brain. Yeah. So I was just like, I kind of like, and then when they were talking about that, I'm like, well, if he's in, I can see Toby as well. And it was always in the back of my mind that it could happen. Like I wasn't 100%. I was around like 70%.
Yeah.
And then like seeing it still brought up great emotion, but it just...
Do you think it took something away from it?
Yes, 100%.
Do you think so? Do you feel like it took something away from it?
I reckon that would have been one of the biggest, well, for us anyway, one of the greatest like reveals in cinematic history, in my opinion.
If we heard nothing about it.
If you had no idea that was happening.
Yeah.
And then that happens and you see that both of them come out of no... That would have fucking blown my mind.
I think you're right.
I agree with you because in Dark Knight Rises, the
Robin reveal,
the twist reveal. The Robin one was good, but the twist reveal is she's Ra's al
Ghul. Ra's al Ghul's daughter. Yeah,
right.
I know that from my just knowledge, of course, but I felt I would have loved that twist more if I had no idea.
That's the one thing that annoys me, and it's so hard to avoid. Like I tried my best. I didn't watch any trailers because. I might have said it before. If there's a movie that I'm excited about, I'm not watching a trailer. I'm trying my best to stay out as much as I possibly can. And I did well with the Spider-Man stuff. Every time anything Spider-Man related, scroll, try not to look at it. Something caught my eye and I caught a glimpse of that, which then snowballed into me getting to where like I was. So I kind of expected it. But
you knew you were going to watch it anyway, regardless.
It was going to happen. But it just takes away that like, element of like, surprise where like if that happened without any of our knowledge that would have been even in the cinema when like the villains are appearing I could have been like whoa
wait a minute,
are they like would they is this you know what I mean and then when it happened it just would have been this like reveal where I feel like the fact internet memes
it's so hard
like that it's so hard to keep out of that loop, especially for like movie fans.
Well, a good example, I remember when the Last Christmas came out. Do you know that movie Last Christmas with Emilia Clarke?
Yeah.
You remember? But the first thing that came up was when the trailer came out is
spoiler warning.
holding a ghost.
Oh, like a question.
Yeah, because in the trailer,
spoiler
for Last Christmas.
If you haven't seen Last Christmas,
Jesus, Dane.
People already had worked out that he wasn't alive.
Yeah.
And then and then I watched the trailer, didn't know, and then I saw this post like maybe 2 months after the trailer. I'm like, oh my God.
It's going to be the Last Christmas all over again.
And then when I watched Last Christmas, the whole movie, I'm like, fuck me.
It's annoying, man. It really is annoying. Like, and there's no way to stop it, especially like us. We all like movies. We follow movie pages, and you're in that world. So, like, I feel like the best way to do it is just to remove yourself. But if you remove yourself too much, then it's just like not good either.
You don't know the movie's coming out.
Wait, what's coming out?
So yeah, like
it's a weird time. It's a weird time, especially
I told you I didn't watch. Dune was another one that I was so excited about. Didn't watch anything about it. Just went to it completely blind. Knew that there was the old one. Didn't watch that. Books. Just tried to like eliminate myself from as much stuff as I can because I just feel like, right now, everything is taken away.
There's a lot of spoilers out there.
Big moments in movies, especially because people just love it. It's like their favorite fucking thing to do. To spoil a movie. It's like a troll thing.
We live in an age where we like to speculate what's going to happen, especially in these big blockbusters, especially if it's a franchise and things like that. I was right. Yeah, idiot. It's a bit of a discussion, and I think that people get more excited as well because they're speculating. Imagine if the Hulk shows up.
Was like straight up. From what I understand. My one was a meme, but I think that meme came from like set photos.
That leaked.
That's what after I saw the movie, I went back and I looked at like to see what other people thought about it, blah blah blah. And that's when they started saying like they were also like extremely upset because they saw. So I had no idea that it was from sets. Mine one was a meme. But
the funny part about, especially with this movie coming out, is that if you didn't see it within the first like opening night or first couple of nights, the internet was Well, so, that's the thing. I know you watched like a week later.
I watched it next week because everything was booked out. Like
those 7 days are very dangerous.
That's when I saw it. I saw the spoiler like 2 weeks prior to the movie actually coming
there was
out.
some spoiler shit as well
or
before
2 weeks, 1 week, whatever it was, depending on when those like photos came out. So like,
it's true.
Like I knew on opening day, if I would gone to watch it then, I would have gone in with the same sort of mindset that like that was going to happen.
I agree with you with what you're saying, but at the same time, I think I still really enjoyed it happening. And I was still throughout the entire movie, I was like, man, what if they don't show up? It's possible they might not.
Well,
you were hoping for it.
My big thing was, they're only going to put him in last 10 minutes, and that's going to be shit.
That's true.
They didn't do
that. And that was a pleasant surprise as well.
That was nice, and I enjoyed the entire like when they came in. That was just enjoyable, and like got those like tingles and stuff when they were doing it and they're doing their thing. You just
Spidey
like,
tingles.
This is like it was great. I just feel like that movie could have just been. You know what I mean? That thing where you're like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God. But it wasn't. It was kind of like, okay, so they did
this
put
is
it in.
good.
You know what I mean? It was great to see still.
I was still pretty fucking like...
I was G.
I was like, Siggy was saying, do you remember that part when he said this? I go, dude, I think I passed out. Once Toby came in, I don't think I remember.
I was blind.
I was like in shock and I felt so giddy and just everything inside.
Hypnotized by Toby Maguire.
So the first one was a big gasp. Was another big gasp.
Big gasps.
Just cheers throughout.
A couple of shouts.
When they were jumping.
Doing their thing.
Oh, it was so nice.
God, that was
good. Great to see. The cheering annoyed me a little bit though. I'm not gonna lie.
When they cheer, like gasp, I can live with.
Just clapping and cheering. I just kind of like
it's not a stage show.
They fucking suck when they cheer.
I just don't like it when they cheer. Like be happy. I was happy.
Like, what did he say?
What did Toby say?
But that's my one point to take away.
That's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Literally, good point. I do not watch trailers at all.
I'm sure a lot of people share that.
Best to not find.
And look, there's probably people in a situation where they couldn't go out to a cinema to watch it, right? And they wouldn't have been able to, right? And they're getting spoiled even more now that it's out and things like that. So it's a shitty situation.
It is a shitty, especially But it is what it is. Still highly recommended. Like get out and watch it if you haven't.
Don't listen to this if you haven't watched it. It's been spoiled already.
If you're still here, then you're with us. You know,
let's maybe start. I want to get into the villains and maybe talk about the villains because I guess they kind of come into the movie pretty early, right?
Yeah, straight off the bat, pretty much.
Is it Doc Ock that comes first?
Docky,
on that bridge. That was a good one, followed by a little bit of a glimpse of the Goblin as well.
Green Goblin.
How did you guys feel when they showed up?
He still looked good, but they did the de-aging stuff.
Did they do it with Molina?
I did some research. They did a lot of de-aging.
Colored his hair,
CGI,
de-aging.
like
yeah.
But they both still look great in real life. Alfred Molina.
It wasn't like these guys are old as fuck. I don't buy that they're coming from those movies. I still bought it, right?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because technically,
it didn't look. I wasn't taken out because of it. Yeah. I still thought they'd like.
Because all of them are coming from the moments before they die or before. From their movies, right? They're coming in through that universe into this moment. So they're technically meant to be the same age, right? Yep. But yeah, I bought it. I thought
it was great.
Yeah. Even seeing Molina, I think, because we saw him in the trailers like heaps. And even when he just showed up, I was like, God, it's good to see Doc Ock. Even though I knew he was there, it's like, it was just great for him to show up.
Oh, it was amazing.
It just brings back that. We were speaking about it earlier. The nostalgia, those nostalgic moments.
It does.
It takes you back to a time. A good time.
Do you So did you like the overall story without getting into the ending and the Spider-Man coming back? But did you like the lead up of what was happening and that Peter had to kind of he fucked up, right? Everyone knows that it's him because he's been outed. People hate him as well. The whole like storyline between him, MJ, and fucking Ned.
Well, I like the whole.
Did you like the plot?
Doctor Strange.
And
it's not like a selfish thing to do to ask someone, but it's like a teenage thing to do. If you have that in your grasp, it's like
fix it.
Be careful what you wish for, kind of like scenario. And I just love Doctor Strange and
Dr. Stephen Strange.
Like the new Iron Man for me in the universe since
he
Iron
is.
Man's. If you haven't seen it, But
watch it now.
The whole going to,
the plot made sense.
Be careful what you wish for type stuff.
I feel like it wasn't like stupid where they could have made it a bit stupid. It's like, oh, these guys are just coming in somehow. Like it made sense for the story because their lives are pretty much fucked up and stuff like that.
Apparently the storyline for this movie is stolen off a really bad Spider-Man comic storyline, but they changed it to make it better.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So in the comics, do you remember hearing
couple of redemption arcs, both for the comic and
But do you remember the series about Mephisto?
Mephisto.
Yeah,
I think so.
There's a thing where I think everyone finds out is Peter Parker or whatever.
Yeah.
And instead he goes Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange says no. Then he goes to Mephisto. It's like he does a deal with the devil type thing.
Right.
But it's like apparently a really hated comic book storyline.
People
hated it. Changed it in this to make it better, I think.
Right. It worked well, I think. It worked well.
We'll get more into it, I guess, but there wasn't too much wrong in my opinion.
Who stood out of the one? So we got who stood out? Doc Ock, Green Goblin, Sandman, Lizard Man, and Electro.
It's Green Goblin,
The lizard man, lizard boy.
Yeah.
I guess there would there's a great meme out there of like Marvel's or Spider-Man's Sinister Six, and it's like all five of them and the tree. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
It's the tree.
You know, because like Spider-Man's trying to pull people back into that kind of like prison that Strange builds. So he uses that tool or whatever the fuck he has. But he shoots it accidentally at that tree, and the tree
appears in
the cell. It's like a cell. Okay, so it's like here's the Sinister Six. We finally got it, but there's like a tree.
Everyone's saying who's the sixth?
Who's the sixth villain?
So if you can maybe rank the Sinister Five out of performance in this film, not who you like the most, but in this film.
Performance?
Yeah.
Well, I think for me it has to be Goblin.
Yeah, Goblin time.
Yeah.
Second,
man, he just kills
Doc.
Second has to be Doc. Doc's like pretty up there with Goblin for me.
When
I
he
think.
goes to Toby, my God, boy, you've grown.
You've grown. Beautiful moment.
I feel like Goblin, Doc.
I felt
Electro
third. Electro third for me. Yeah. He was. Because I felt like he had more depth now. Like,
he did, yeah.
He was like, he used to be a fucking ugly little piece.
And then,
he's like,
Lizard and Sandman weren't in it enough, though, I feel. Well, they were in it, but they weren't really
Sandman
like...
and Lizard,
They were kind of
thrown. They probably had no...
It's so much, man. Like, there's too much going on. Something was going to, like, get pushed aside a little bit.
Big actors as well. And you get, like, you're using those guys...
Too much.
Yeah, it was more like CGI.
That's why those three, I think, because they just had way more screen time.
Well, they only showed those two actors at the end.
Yeah, true.
So Sandman can form back to his original form.
The Sandman can,
You know what I mean?
So but maybe they just, maybe they just couldn't afford. Or maybe couldn't afford to pay him as well.
Maybe.
We're going to use your voice only for these scenes.
I was like, because when I heard the Lizard speak, I'm like, is it the original actor from Garfield's one?
I assume
so.
It
is.
We saw him. I was worried. I'm like, maybe he didn't
I wasn't sure as well. Yeah. But I think that's where I rank him. Let's break down Green Goblin a little bit because Norman Osborn, he's a lot deeper in this film. And I like the way they took it with him, like kind of coming to his senses and being like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I'm sick and then stuff like that. They played with that a lot. And that was, I thought that was cool.
But that's just his what he called?
Is
psycho personality taking a seat
multiple
back.
personality.
Yeah.
So he's got two.
The Jekyll Hyde types.
But he's being good, right? Like in those moments, he's not putting a show.
He's taking a seat back. The Goblin.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're two personalities. So that's.
But he's stronger. Yeah,
exactly. So the Goblin comes out when the Goblin's not there. It's the good guy. So he kind of like interchanges.
But the Goblin's got control.
Right. He just lets it kind of play. Takes his seat back. That was cool.
It out, and then he just kind of kicks back weights.
That was cool.
He comes in when the time's right.
Well, I think that helps Peter or Tom Holland's Peter be like, no, like I don't want to fucking kill these guys because I think he feels a bit of a emotional connection.
Aunt May was the big thing, because he just came in and said like, it's not my problem, like I'm not responsible for these guys. I don't know if you've watched that, like how they're like trying to interplay all the scenes from previous movies to this one. When he says like, that's not my problem, it's a throwback to Tobey Maguire saying, how's that my problem, when the robber escapes. So there's like a bunch of these sort of things where they're trying to throw bits and pieces.
Goblin kills Aunt May, like when Toby said it to the guy who kills Uncle Ben. So it's
the same. Sure.
So they're kind of, this is why, and that's why Aunt May then says that with great power
comes great responsibility.
Also, because they changed it around, because apparently that's the original saying.
Is it? Must also.
So must also come great responsibility. That's a good one. So they swapped that around research.
You do the research.
But so they're kind of trying to make all of their stories follow like a similar line. So they're using a lot of lines from the previous movies in this movie. Then when they come, it kind of like follows like a similar sort of path to get them where they
Well, I think that's the thing. Everyone's like, we want to see his origin. We want to see his origin. But I think someone made a good point. These three trilogy that we've gotten with Holland is his origin.
I saw that as well. I was going to bring that up.
But, that's cool.
That was awesome.
Because they're like saying like, it's crazy how like everybody's like, we really like how Tom Holland didn't have an origin story because we all know it. And then 3 amazing origin story movies that get him to where he is now.
Because he's still supposed to be 18, right?
Yeah.
He's super young. Going up to college or trying to get into college. I guess the movie needed to get him to the point where he is on his own and a grown-up Spider-Man. I think it did that really well.
It did.
Yeah, it did that really well.
Interesting where it goes. Continue with this now because
I know.
Yeah, they've just literally like
reset in a way
the entire like Spider-Man universe.
I want to ask you, who do you reckon went up to Kevin Feige and said, what if we just hear me out.
Hear me out here.
What if we get Tobey and Garfield and we make a fucking multiverse? Do you reckon he goes, get the fuck
fuck out of my office?
Whoever it is, man, deserves like a big, big toast because,
God.
Isn't it?
One day we're like, nah. Should we?
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, I don't think. Whoever brought it up, they were just straight away like, get on it. Like, get the fuck on it. We'll see if we can make it happen.
Because it's up to Sony, right?
But then again,
like, it is. Amy Pascal.
Like, it is again. But Sony, they worked out the whole Spider-Man thing. So
they did,
Like, kudos to everyone.
Kudos.
Involved. Like to Sony, to Disney, to Marvel, to everyone involved.
Talk about fan service and how much fan service this film
done well. And like Dane brought up, it wasn't just like 15 minutes, like, we're here. Let's fight these 2 bad guys. Okay, we killed them. Let's go. Like, it was a solid last like 45 to an hour interacting, the chemistry,
learning from each other.
Man, it was a bit like a theater play, all these characters interacting.
It was a good movie.
Or a good movie.
It was like fan service done well. They put him in. They weren't just shoehorned in there for fan service. 100%. They kind of took like what people really wanted because
exactly.
Spider-Man is my favorite character. Superhero, he is.
Person.
So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm heavily invested in everything that they do with this sort of stuff. I guess we'll get into it, like the Amazing Spider-Man side of things. I loved. Some people might not enjoyed, but I love those movies. But again, that's because
you love Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man, and but the way they did it, they just tied it in so 100%. Nicely. A nice little bow. If there was no spoilers, that would probably go down as one of my favorite movies of all time.
A perfect movie.
Literally, if I just didn't have a spoiler, I would have just. Oh man.
We talked about how like after we watched the film, we're like we saw everything we wanted to see.
I know.
It was like so perfect.
Nothing on the table. You walk out of there going like, if also they did, you just kind of walked out of there like,
that's it.
Like, there it is.
That was it. We were like, fuck. But they missed that opportunity.
Nah.
There was no missed opportunity.
They literally hit everything. It's like bring the saying, build him up as this next Spider-Man, bring all these dudes back in. Like, it's perfect.
But like, it's crazy how much we've evolved in cinema. I was telling you ages ago, like, we've come to this point where it's like, you can bring them all back in.
Yeah,
like
I know.
the same. Imagine I said to you when you watched the Toby one, in 15 years you're gonna watch 3 different Spider-Man.
Yeah, no,
the same movie.
no.
Like, what?
I never
What?
thought, like,
Yeah.
even if you told me that, like, before they announced No Way Home,
Yeah,
I know.
next year,
I know.
they're going to bring all 3, but like, there's no chance. There's so much like legal work, and they're going to be dicks about it. Like,
they do it.
yeah, like how they split the money always gets involved with this sort of stuff, and like, you know, like I just don't see it
it's so hard to pull off.
But the way they did it,
Do you think they've ever done that before with like a superhero to have all the different actors that have played it
nah, this
appear
is
in
the first
one?
time.
I don't think it has.
Not like in a movie.
I guess
maybe in a show. Like, I don't know if they've done it. I don't really watch
a little bit in like the Flash show and stuff like
but
that.
That's more like intertwining universes. It wasn't really like.
Let's stick with film though.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah, so
I don't think it was.
Definitely not in film. No.
I'm trying to think.
I don't think so.
No,
it's
definitely not.
Yeah.
Have you seen that other meme? How they're going to do like the Hulk multiverse, where they're going to bring Banner?
Yeah, oh, dude, I would love to see that.
Norton and like, oh, dude, that'd be amazing. That'd be sick.
Bring Eric Banner, please.
Eric Banner and what's his name? Also,
would you have 3 Hulks fighting each other? Like what?
Well, he's in Planet Hulk. Aren't they all Hulks?
I have no idea what that storyline is.
Yeah, I think
Could
Planet Hulk, they're all Hulks.
Brother, if they bring Eric.
Yeah. So like they go like, I don't know. I watched
Is it a multiverse type thing?
No, it's not a multiverse. It's just like
random people.
Not random. I think it's a planet
full of Hulks.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I watched one breakdown of Planet Hulk because I'm like, what the hell is Planet Hulk?
Yeah.
It was a very long time ago. From what I understand, it's a I'll look it up. You guys talk.
Hey, do you have a laptop in front of you?
Yourselves, and I'm going to look up Planet Hulk and see what it is.
You were saying this as well.
Go
Sorry,
on.
I'm stealing all your notes.
Please go.
It sucks that Toby and Garfield didn't get to go to any of the premieres.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
have to stay in the shadows.
If there's like a bitter taste left in your mouth,
I know.
it's like they didn't get to enjoy and bask in the glory.
Do the tours and stuff like that.
You know, everything they've achieved, you know, and how they made audience feel.
Because we talked about that. It's like, are they able to do like a press tour? Like, what's the right amount of time after the movie comes out for them to be able to do it?
They went on
Kimmel or something, or somewhere.
Colbert,
Jimothy,
Ellen,
Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it does suck, but hey, it's not the end of the world.
It was worth it, you know.
Exactly.
If they were there, I'd be like, why are they there?
Yeah. Is Andrew Garfield the greatest actor in the world with all the denial that he has put out there over the last year?
Planet Hulk is not what I thought it was. I don't know what I watched then. My bad.
It's a planet where everyone drinks the serum.
It's just like a normal planet that Hulk becomes the
king of. Yeah, that makes sense.
He makes it in the arena.
But all the other Hulks.
We can do a fact check and I'll find the video that I've watched. But there was more Hulks.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Sorry, I interrupted that, but what were you guys talking about?
No, we're just saying that they couldn't like do the press tours and stuff like that.
Garfield.
Well, Garfield denying the fucking rumors that he's in this film for like the last year or whatever.
He did it well.
He did it really well.
Again, I watched all of that post movie.
Yeah,
so
he did it well, but at the end of the day, he's an actor.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
He's an actor.
Like, oh my god, he kept this so well. Like, this guy literally does that for a fucking.
How is he lying so good?
So well. Like,
he's saying things that aren't true.
Like, he literally,
I know.
pretends to be a fucking spider.
Here's another big moment in the film. It's Aunt May dying, and we mentioned it before. Was that emotionally very impactful and like? Did you feel sad?
Yes.
Seeing it?
Well, I thought she was the best actor in the film
Really?
by far.
Better than Tobey Maguire. Better than Willem Dafoe.
Really? Nah.
I think Willem did it for me.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem gets the chance to be more crazy.
But that's the thing.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's different. It's like you watch someone in like a real down-to-earth role and then you watch someone be a fucking psycho. It's like, of course you're going to pick the psycho because it's different.
Yeah.
But Aunt May, I just thought she did a really good job because I didn't really see her get developed as much. Like, she was sleeping with Happy and like, in the second one. The first one was like, oh, your aunt's heart and all that shit. Like, this one, I felt like she
had a bigger role.
As much as Norman helped Spider-Man get to where he needed to be, she did too, and she was as big as a part of that.
She was.
No, I agree, but I just don't see
her acting was great to me.
It was, but like I just Willem Dafoe like knocked it out of the park.
Again.
Oh, you want a guy to play crazy, you get Willem Dafoe. Like,
I'm not denying
he killed it. Like, he steals the show.
That's fair. I do agree with that.
She's a massive part. 100% agree.
Do you agree how she was supporting Spider-Man, being like, no, you do what you think is right and stuff like that, you know, because he had his idea of like, I'm going to save these guys, these bad guys.
No.
Aunt May.
Yeah. I thought you said Spider-Man.
Did I agree with Aunt May? Or
do you agree that she was like supporting him like that, or do you think it's like you like wouldn't agree with her?
I was like, I was like, Doctor Strange is right. Let's just
I can get him back.
Because it's something he never dealt with before. It's a fucking from other universes. Like, I would just want to put him back.
Or like reality. That's probably my only nitpick. It's like the fabric of reality is going to break. Like, you're going to literally destroy the entire universe.
It's not worth risking just to save.
Is it worth risking just to save these bad guys?
Yeah, but I don't think
that's my only nitpick. I think
that the fabric of the like I don't think to him either. Like, he kind of tells him like what could happen.
Let's take her out of the picture. Is he making the right decision by trying to save these guys, even though he's risking the entire world?
That's why with great power must also come
great responsibility.
Because you can't just. That's your role in this thing, to save people more than to just because he's banishing them to their deaths. Like, so he's practically signing like the death warrant of these like superheroes if he just goes to Doctor Strange and says, "See you later." You know what I mean? Like, they all came from a point where they were just about to die.
Yeah.
So like, Electro was at the point where he was charged with too much energy. Doc Ock had Spider-Man. Like, they were about to die, so that's where they were returning. And
I just don't think I agree with it.
Doctor Strange, that's why he even says like their sacrifice is a lot greater than
help them become
Yeah.
Well, I think this is where this movie tried to change it. It was like for Spider-Man to try and save these villains,
showing his
new development in his character.
Yeah. He's a true hero.
No, I don't think that was a nitpick. I think that's the right thing to do. Because
I just don't think, in reality, I don't think it's the right thing to do.
But that's
this isn't the comic book.
It isn't real. Okay.
Like, no, I'm just in terms of like he's literally sending him to their deaths, and that's what Aunt May's saying.
All right.
It's like, you're gonna like kill these guys.
Iron Man's faced with the same thing: save these 5 villains, or you're risking destroying the entire universe. Do you think he makes the right?
That wasn't explained.
He knows that. Peter knows that. Yes, he does.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange is telling him.
Does he say?
Yes, the fabric of reality. You're putting everything at risk. The entire universe.
Come unless you fucking put them all back.
And we don't know how this is going to work.
Aunt May doesn't know that.
She doesn't know that.
Yeah.
I think it's the.
It is the superior noble thing to do, but it's.
But like, movie ends.
It's too big of a risk.
Movie ends at 45 minutes. They push the button on the square. They all fucking leave.
I'm not saying that's what they should have done.
There needs to be a character arc.
I'm just saying that's my only flaw with it. That Spider-Man would sacrifice the entire universe to save these villains. That's my only nitpick.
But I don't know.
I don't think it's the right decision, but it works for the film, obviously.
Because you're a fucking villain.
It's the right decision, but it's not the risk.
It's the most riskiest. Yeah, exactly.
It's the right decision, but it's not the logical decision.
It's not logical at all. Yeah, that's my only nitpick with it.
Yeah. Oh, are we nitpicking?
Yeah, nitpicking.
Can I give some more nitpicks?
Go on, if you've got some.
Like, love the movie, not trying to beat down on it.
Is it Ned?
These are, yes. Ned can do what Doctor Strange tried to do for 6 months.
Exactly.
In
one day. 10 minutes.
Like, try to explain that a little bit.
Oh, you've got magic in the family. But it's like, oh,
that's what
and he got that ring thing that he puts on, and he kind of like, I get it.
But what's her name even says Dr. Stephen Strange is supposed to be the best of them.
Yeah.
And he still can't do it. And like, that was like a nitpick. Like, if I'm being
that is a nitpick. That is a nitpick. But
next one, this is a plot hole.
Go on.
Jamie Foxx never learns Peter's identity in Spider-Man.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And he knows who he is.
Straight away he knows who
he
is.
Yeah.
Plot hole.
I've seen that as well. Yeah.
Big plot hole.
Big plot hole.
We just look past it.
But we can look past it. There's so much greatness here that we just look past.
I think everything that you guys are nitpicking, I agree with.
No, I'm just picking.
Not your one, but I agree with what you're saying.
So, Nem, you would kill everyone in the world to save bad guys.
He didn't kill everyone in the world.
No, risk to kill everyone in the world to save bad guys. You personally.
What I'm saying is, it's not the...
don't try to...
That's their role as, like, they're supposed to save people. It's not up to them. Like, they're not there to just send people...
Risk is too big.
The reason... I know it is, but the reason why...
There's no movie if you do...
No movie.
I know. Of course, I know.
A comic book movie.
I know.
If we were talking about, like, a normal movie, then we'll be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But anything in a comic book...
Because what I'm saying is, it's not the logical thing to do.
Of course.
But, like, I think the reason why Peter... One, he believes that he can save these people.
He believes that he can succeed,
And 2, maybe if these guys were sent back to a time before they became villains, you know what I mean?
He's trying to make him good.
At death's door. Like, he practically says, like, these guys are going to die. Like, they need to die. They're going to die. So for you to see what could happen if you fail, or an instant like these 5 guys are dead. You send them back, they're dead.
Yeah. Here's my other nitpick. And by the end of the movie, he makes them all. He figures out how to treat them and how to make them good again, right? Because they all had some fucked up thing that happened to them, changed them psychologically, everything. Sends them back, right? Now they're good people. Doc Ock is a good person now. He's not controlled by the thing. He sends him back to that moment where he came from, and Spider-Man's like, "You motherfucker," and he kills him. Right?
He doesn't.
But how do you know that?
Doc
Ock becomes good in the end and brings that the power of the sun into.
This is the only other thing.
But how do you know that? That happens in his universe once he goes back.
Yeah.
How do you know
Spider-Man
that?
2. We've seen Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, he does. All right, but what about Goblin?
Yeah, Goblin's tough because is it just before the glider gets him? Because he can't stop that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It could be before the glider.
Toby's at an older stage when he comes into the movie. So this is real nitpicking.
It is nitpicky.
You're getting into, it's really hard to bring guys back from 21 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so now you want Peter Parker to look like
I'm just saying there is that discussion online about
lazy writing.
I don't think so. There's not much you can do, man.
I know. Like they did.
It's not lazy.
This isn't just they're horrible. It's just a little nitpick.
These are just little nitpicks in a great film.
Yeah, guys. I think
what you have to think of it is Goblin goes back and explains and reasons with his version of Spider-Man that he's not. He's not. Toby's the older Toby. Toby goes back to his timeline, which is like 20 years or 15 years or whatever it is in his timeline. Yeah, so he doesn't know that.
And so is Garfield, remember?
The only one that pretty much 100% dies is Molina. Doc Ock. Because he, at that stage when he comes back, if he's good or not.
And
Electro.
No, well, Electro, depending on when.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know exactly what.
Electro mentioned that the last thing he remembers was getting hit by the thing. So he did die. So he was coming.
He says the last thing he remembers is almost becoming pure energy.
That's when he dies.
That's how he dies in
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I don't know. I just
no. This is just nitpicking.
This is just little nitpick. It's theories.
We shouldn't be staying too long on this.
No. That's fine. We'll move past it.
I'm upset.
Nem doesn't like these nitpicks. He's like, this is a perfect movie. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's not perfect, but
also other nitpick. Sorry, little. But at the end of Spider-Man 3, he patches things up with Sandman.
Yep.
And
now he's kind of against him.
I'm sick of this. Like, I just hated that. That was a little bit lazy there too.
They were kind of friends though.
Yeah, that was my last nitpick. So.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of helps him until he finds out that he's not that Peter Parker.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because he helps him with Electro.
When he sees Toby, he should feel a bit, secure, I guess. You know what I mean? And he's like, I'm trying to help you. You know?
Yeah.
So again, nitpicking.
Small nitpicks.
Let's get off.
We loved it. Off it. Yeah. Where do you want to take it next?
Jesus Christ.
Let's just quickly our favorite moments from the film. I'll start off.
Go on.
Aunt May giving the final piece to become Spider-Man.
Great.
Garfield saving MJ.
Yeah.
You want to discuss this?
God, that was good.
How good was it? The shot was nearly exactly the same as in Amazing Spider-Man 2, like from the angle from
it
which
felt
you see
like
Mary
Nem
Jane.
said before. I don't care how much bad rep the Amazing Spider-Man films get. I still enjoyed watching them.
They were great.
And I was quite invested in that story between them two. And him getting that chance to save MJ in this version was so good.
Even though the movie wasn't well received, Spider-Man 2, everyone still remembers that moment.
100%.
You know why? Because they always save the girl. You know what I mean? In all superhero movies, it's always
and there he didn't.
MJ was in trouble.
Yeah.
Toby saves her. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no actual.
You just think when I watched that movie, that's why I was just like, holy, because you're like, he's gonna get her, he's gonna whip her back. It's all good. Like it's gonna they build this moment of intensity. But he was
too late. Yeah.
And then that cut when they just show her head bang off that ground, you're like, there's there's no way she. So that's why I kind of. A lot of people give that movie shit, but I just think that was the first one where they kind of went dark with it, that dark where you just kind of holy,
That was such a great moment.
A big comic book story.
I know. But I don't really read the comic books.
I don't like to read anything, watch anything online.
I like reading,
but
no spoilers.
Redemption arc, and especially something
amazing
everyone's well aware of.
Yeah,
it was.
And I also like how they kind of played on the fact where he changed the way.
Yeah.
So that's what they were saying. So when I was looking up some stuff, cool things to talk about, they were saying, he decided to go because he went with the whip. That's what caused the whiplash on the stop.
Yeah.
And this time, that was his redemption arc where so that's why they zoom in on his feet when he jumps off. Because he lunges off with his feet and he grabs her with his hands instead of shooting her.
So he must have been thinking about it
100%.
all this time.
That's what they're saying.
He worked out if I just jumped and,
100%.
you know,
It's like, because imagine like if you're going through that, like for your entire life, you're like, if I just used if I didn't use that web, like she'd still be here. And you were put in that moment. So he kind of like, that was awesome redemption arc, because I don't know if The Amazing Spider-Man 3 is going to happen. I don't know. The internet has a lot of power these days. I don't see it. I'd love to see it. I think Garfield is a very, very good Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was such a great moment.
Little redemption, just to kind of like, and then that moment when they're standing and looking at each other's eyes, and he was 100%. Tearing up. I was like, yeah, man,
100%. My other one, and we're talking about greatest moments. Obviously, all three of them coming into frame and fucking going at it like goosebumps. It's fucking amazing. But the other one that I really loved, I think you didn't realize that it really happened, or like the way it was thought out. But Tobey Maguire, obviously, we mentioned his older Peter Parker, right? From where he comes from. So in his universe, he would have killed Goblin years ago, right? And for the fact that throughout all those years that he's been living, he's been thinking of how could I have saved him? Norman.
See, I blacked out.
You blacked out for that.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Because you don't remember because he essentially he's been working on a formula of what he would have done to help him. Like there's no reason for him to be built like working on this formula thing for all those years, right? Because Goblin's not around anymore. Yeah. But the fact that he was, because that haunted him, that he didn't want to kill him. And I guess Harry as well, was he affected by the same serum? Yeah, it was. So I guess he wanted to save his best friend and this great guy as well. I thought
it's a movie jam-packed with great bits. Like,
so many great moments.
From beginning to end, and you could say this was great, this was great. Like it just
100%. My other favorite moment, Toby being Tom's moral compass and stopping him killing Green Goblin.
True.
You know, he jumps in front of the
sacrifices himself.
When he stabs Toby, did you think that was him?
I almost walked out of the cinema. He died. I was gonna fucking walk out.
Though, but why did, like he just stabbed him? He's like, and he falls. I'm like, they're gonna fucking kill. Right, and then he just like gets up and then he's hugging Garfield. I'm like,
he regenerates.
He goes, I've been. There was a bit lazy writing there. He goes, I've been stabbed before. That's all they said, and he was okay.
Okay. Yeah, that was weird.
Doesn't he have
like holy?
Doesn't he have powers to regenerate though?
But not like
that quick.
Like we have powers to regenerate. Like
I'm pretty sure Spider-Man can still die from like gun wounds and things like that.
Yeah, getting his head chopped off.
Yeah, that's also one, I think.
Yeah.
That'll do it. But if he died, I was going to be very upset. Like I feel like that would take away a lot from Tom Holland's story as well. But love that he stopped him from killing it. Like another moral compass.
It was,
Like he hasn't got a father figure since Iron Man's gone.
Exactly,
We don't know what happened to his parents or his origin story. But that was another moment.
I just loved them three being the guidance. Them three being together, and
the banter was so
the banter was great. And Toby being that fucking father figure to them, and just like the jokes and things.
Like the cool uncle.
The cool uncle kind of thing. That was so good.
When I saw him, dude, he was great. I am so happy that he was in that movie. So happy.
He did such a good job.
He killed it.
I don't know if you guys want to do it now, but I did want to pose the question of who is the best Spider-Man out of the three.
I think we're going to get different. I was going to ask that too, but I'm like, you know what I'm going to say. I know what he's going to say. I don't know.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he is the best Spider-Man. I honestly,
in bad movies.
The
best Spider-Man in the worst movies, in my opinion. Like I 100%.
He can't be a good Spider-Man in a bad movie.
You can.
No,
you can.
I watched Amazing Spider-Man again.
Yeah,
I couldn't. See, I don't want to have this argument. I can't.
You should.
This is the whole point of the fucking podcast.
Man, why is Andrew Garfield the best Spider-Man for you?
The way he is, his look, his personality, the way he played that character, just embodied Spider-Man. I don't know, in that era of like 18 to like 22 or whatever, like I just felt he was, even like his shaggy big hair and like he just looked.
You like the hair, don't you?
It was the hair and like skinny and lanky and that whole thing is just, I don't know, like what like I kind of see Spider-Man as in the comics. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's definitely,
phenomenal actor.
So he's got everything, but he just didn't have the two movies. I don't think the movies were shit because he was shit.
Yeah.
I think the movies were shit because the people who made them just didn't do a good job. I still think they were good.
Yeah.
And writing and directing's horrible for those movies.
And I agree. I'm not
the best.
I'm not horrible. I wouldn't say horrible. They're just not as good as the other ones. I still say Spider-Man 3 is the worst out of the bunch.
I still love Spider-Man 3.
Tobey Maguire's.
That's
which Spider-Man film would you put Garfield in if you have to recast him in one of the ones that's already come out?
And I think he'd kill it, and people would just
even in his own ones.
Yeah, well, he's already in his own ones. Why would I recast him?
Just any of them.
I honestly think he's the best Spider-Man as like an entire package, but unfortunately,
like a Garfield,
he got the worst movies.
A Garfield in Spider-Man 2 versus Doc Ock.
That would
that'd be the perfect Spider-Man film because we think it's still the best Spider-Man film. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock.
No.
You don't think this is better for you?
No Way Home's better than Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
100%.
Cool. Fair call.
100%.
But there's so many nitpick flaws. I'm kidding.
100%, man.
Tobey Maguire for you, Andrew Garfield for you.
Are you going to be devil's advocate, be Tom?
Nah, I like Tom a lot, but I think I'm a Tobey man as well.
It's nostalgia.
But you know what? I do agree a lot with you that Garfield does embody Spider-Man probably better, but I think
better looking guy.
Yeah, but I think Tobey just had the best movies, and
but that's just.
And I enjoyed him being an older Spider-Man as well.
This is what I'm saying to you. You guys are basing it on who had the better movies. You're
basing it on who looks the best.
No, I'm basing it who is the best Spider-Man. Yes.
I see. I can't.
He's gonna get cut.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry
at you. I know I'm angry at you. I'm angry at myself because I hate myself.
But you guys are saying like I think Tobey's better because he was in better movies.
No, because I'll just get into it. I don't want to waste an hour.
When he faces Sandman in 3, you think that's not as good?
Yeah. Look, Tobey's great. I think I'd go Garfield, Tobey, and then Holland in
that order.
My list of best Spider-Man, not best movie, because I'm going to ask you. Well, now I know what your best movies are.
If they do a Spider-Man 4, Raimi has to direct it. If they do Amazing Spider-Man 3, get someone new in. Don't get the old director who did the
Mark Webb
Mark Webb. I think you got to get someone new writers, everything.
Yeah.
And just give him something good and then we can see properly.
Yes, sure. That's what I'm saying. I don't think
if they bring the original guy back, I'll be
so cut.
The best part out of like shit movies, and that's not on him to say that like he should, because as a trilogy, what's better, the Spider-Man or the Holland? Spider-Man ones or the No Way Home, Homecoming, and whatever.
Spider-Man.
So what's a better trilogy?
I think
Toby's still.
But this movie's like blows everything out of the water.
Fucking hell, man.
I think Homecoming's good. I think Far From Home's good.
Imagine having a movie where you get 2 other Spider-Man. Everyone's going to go nuts for that.
You know what I mean? Of course.
Like Garfield didn't get that. Toby didn't get that. Like, it's pretty
Garfield got nothing. And then
it's not fair.
You're binning him because of that.
I'm not binning him. I'm saying he's not my best Spider-Man because of all these reasons. You can't just say, there's one got bad writing and got bad directing. But that's not his fault. But it just happened. Like I'm saying, if you do Amazing Spider-Man 3, that would be fair for him to come. But right now, I don't see it. They're pushing, but
they're pushing. They're trying to push.
Nobody else. Sony probably because they need the money. As long as they have no
crazier things have happened though. You never know.
We'll see.
Yeah, when Garfield got cast, I was like, this guy looks like Spider-Man. I hope he does well. Like and then
he looks like it.
But remember, I was watching it. I watched Amazing Spider-Man again the other day. It looks like he's hyped up on sugar the whole movie.
Yeah,
he's got these little twitches and things, and I'm like,
he's a bit awkward in some of them.
That's not his fault. He's a great actor. Watched Hacksaw Ridge the other night.
Oh, amazing! He's so good in it.
So good.
How good is he in that movie? He doesn't overact. He could have done that in Spider-Man.
But he's not. But
that's not his fault, though. It's not his fault.
He's trying to be a funny guy.
I'm trying to see him, the person.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm saying whenever the studio went.
I'm not angry at you guys for choosing Toby. That's fine. I get it. Nostalgia is a massive thing.
It is.
And good Spider-Man.
No, they are. And the good Spider-Man movies. But
it wasn't his fault.
I just can't see if he got any of the Holland's bits or Tobey Maguire's bits, there'd be a completely different.
Here's another question for you guys. Tom Holland, let's say
hit you this 2 times.
How about this? Tom Holland gets 3 more Spider-Man films. Let's say that happens. Do you think at any of those points he hits that point where he becomes better than either one of your options?
Well, that's the thing. It's like the kids growing up now are going to be like
Holland, of course.
Yeah. The best. So it's just like you said, he's got a good point.
Nostalgia probably hits you, yeah.
And then I remember, I love the Michael Keaton Batman movies.
Yeah,
right? I grew up with them, real young.
Loved them, yeah.
My friend goes, I watched this fucking stupid Batman movie the other day. It was maybe 1980 something. Like, wait, who is it? He's like, I think it was Michael Caine or
Michael Caine.
Tangerine.
I'm like, did he have yellow in the middle of his? He's like, yeah, it was garbage.
Fantastic.
Like, Yeah, it was just like
I don't like that one too.
I love those movies. You know what I mean?
I know it's really tough.
Like we spoke about this earlier. Nostalgia hits you very hard. You're really attached.
Kids back then will go fucking
exactly.
and Toby suck, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I'm taking nostalgia out of it.
Hey, we're all a bunch of old fellas. Yeah,
it's fine.
You can't take nostalgia.
I don't, but I just still don't think like if there's a wrong answer to that. I guess
there isn't. Everyone has their choice.
Holland, I'd be like, yeah, fair enough. Like he's killed. He's done everything he needed to do. But just for me personally, it's Garfield.
I'm hearing a lot of talk online that people agree with you. They say that Garfield is the best embodiment of Spider-Man.
I'm 100%.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying
I'm 100% for that.
Yeah, I hate him so much.
But one thing I don't know if you had the problem with it, Nam, with this current Spider-Man. His suit is so unlike Spider-Man. He's got all these gadgets and mechanics because of Iron Man. But now at the end of this movie, he's stripped of everything.
It's his own suit.
He's back to being Spider-Man. Yeah. So maybe this is opportunity for us to see the true
authentic,
like
that classic thing where he's just not.
You don't want to.
And his suit. I don't know if you noticed his new suit at the end is a mixture of
both.
Yeah. He has no Jarvis to fucking guide him, which I didn't like. Initially,
it was a bit much. It is, but it's hard not to be too.
He was a very Avengers Spider-Man instead of his own thing. But like you said, they really fixed it. They really got it to a point where now he can have his stories.
Even though he's going to be in the other Avengers. I don't know how long. How long? Do you reckon they can push out a trilogy of him being like?
Yeah, they said there's a new trilogy.
But can they push out the whole thing without him being in the Avengers? Because they're going to know about it in this universe.
Well, they'll know him, but they won't know his identity.
I know, but I'm saying they're going to approach him like they do in every other movie. It's not
take off your mask.
No. And be like, take
off your pants, Peter.
They're going to ask him to join.
Who's that?
They're going to ask him to join the Marvel.
But he can join the Avengers and not tell him he's Peter, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying the whole Peter thing, but I'm saying how long does he go as it's just me against the world, where he's not going to be part of the Avengers. Yeah.
It could be a little while. Who knows?
That's what I mean. He's going to go back into the MCU at some stage.
That they're going to try and do a street level type, because the next thing this preludes to Daredevil and Kingpin.
Man,
what do you guys think? You guys obviously watched the show. I haven't seen the show.
Oh my god,
it was such a good moment.
That was the only thing. Thank you for bringing that up. That was in my notes, but I'm on a IMDb page. The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I'm doodling something here.
Big titty Spider-Man. That was the one thing that surprised me. I had no idea Murdoch was there. I had no idea. Yeah, and when he popped up, I'm like,
Matt Murdock.
Shit. That made me so happy. That's so still one of my favorite superhero shows, the Daredevil.
100%.
I fucking love that so much.
I'm a huge fan.
So happy to see him. And if they can make his own thing, he kills it, and I'm 100% in.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I kept out. This is what I mean.
Exactly.
I knew the Spider-Man thing, but the Murdoch stuff was released. It was such a good. So I managed to stay out of that.
It wasn't huge. It's just him. He's not in the suit or whatever.
It was for me because I was so happy.
Yeah. Well, it was. I'm saying. Yeah. I felt like it was big as well.
He didn't really.
But it was just one scene essentially.
Let me discuss.
He's in the universe.
At the end of the movie, I'm like, I don't think it was necessary. It felt like a bit of a gimmick and fan service and all that stuff. But deleted scenes from the movie are him in court with Peter, and another scene with him telling Peter what he I don't know, his rights and things like that, and what he should do going forward. So there was initially supposed to be more of a lawyer type scenario with him and Peter.
The movie's just too big. That
would have been perfect, but you can't make a 3.5 hour movie.
You can. Why didn't you? Make it 7 hours?
I would have loved it.
My whole day. Do the Justice League. I watch Justice League back to back because I like that so much. So
don't do that, please.
Schneider.
Abort.
Yeah, it's so good. Let's break down him not the final scene or whatever, he gets everyone, no one remembers who Peter Parker is. Let's break that down a little bit more.
Yeah.
So essentially no one knows, right? Ned doesn't know, MJ doesn't know, and that's the only way that he can do it.
Such a good ending.
It's a good ending. Here's my other nitpick. Why couldn't he have stayed there and explained to them as soon as their memory got wiped? Why couldn't he stay there and asked and told them, hey, this just happened.
Shock.
This happened.
Not shock, because
this is who I am.
The reason why they were in that much shit was because of him. So this is why they didn't get into MIT. He had to try his best.
Yeah.
They copped it because of who he was. So when he goes back in there and he sees that they both got into MIT, that's where he gets that, because he had the notes prepared. He was going in to say it. Yeah. When he sees them, they're going back to their normal lives.
No, but I'm saying when we've finished the final battle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Why wouldn't he just explain to them?
Because he knows if they are connected to him, they're always going to be in trouble.
There's a risk.
So this is why, like I was saying, they didn't get into uni because of him. He had to go out. They were constantly in danger. He goes in and he sees them celebrating the fact they got into college.
He leaves it alone.
And he goes like, if I come in and reveal this again and start this all over again, their lives are going to be affected.
There's a chance. There's a risk. Yeah.
He just goes, let them live their lives. Because like, if we do this all over again, I could be messing up their lives.
I'll pay you that one.
They built relationships to get to that point of revealing who he is to them. Or
if he just says it, it's not going to be the same.
Like Ned and him were best friends for how long?
Yeah.
Like you can't just say, hey man, I'm your best friend for 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm Spider-Man. Just trust me, everything I'm going to say.
Okay.
Who the fuck are you?
When Ned looks back at his memories, who was he hanging out with all those years?
His wife.
Is it blank?
I don't know.
Was he not hanging out with anyone?
Maybe those memories, every memory with him is completely gone.
See, that's weird. I don't know.
But that's the thing. If you don't know it was a memory, do you remember it?
You know what I mean?
Like if that's wiped from your brain, you just don't have that. Like that just blanks. Like you're not going to remember those moments.
It's a tough one to make perfect in a movie like this.
I think it is because the whole point of the movie, the whole like first half of the movie was the fact that he ruined everything because he was Spider-Man. And at the end, he was like, if I come back into their lives, I could potentially ruin it again.
Yeah, true.
So let them live their lives. They're in MIT. He's like, I'm just going to do my own thing because that's the burden. With great power also comes great. Like you just got to
responsibility.
You just got to do the things that you got to do to protect the people you love and save the villains. And
it's true.
Look, I don't know if you guys know this, but when I go to bed at night, I'm not just Dane
Barron.
I'm Dane Barron, quarterfinalist of the Blue Cat screenwriting competition. I've got a little scene I wanted to add.
You want to rewrite something?
To you.
Okay.
Go on.
You know how you said he goes to see MJ, pulls out, can't do it.
Yeah. Pulls out.
Then, I don't know.
Wait, there's a sexual scene.
Was that a deleted scene?
He's too scared to do it, so he
pulls out
again, and then he goes back, pulls out. He leaves, but then I don't know when he goes and sees Aunt May at the graveyard. Is it after or before that?
I believe it's after.
After. If it's after, you know when he's talking or he's by himself.
I think it's before.
Okay, but if it was after,
yeah.
When he's talking to the
to Happy
Tombstone and Happy and stuff, Happy walks away. What if we saw a blonde girl, maybe about 5 gravestones down, and she's talking to like someone like obviously a loved one, right? He kind of walks by us, hears her talking, and it's Gwen Stacy talking to her dad as like a dead cop.
Yeah.
And then like
his new love interest
sparks there, but it's like very minimal, but it's enough to remember each other for the next film. Would you have liked that?
Like
or
a
is that garbage?
setup for the next film.
Yeah. Like a tiny, but not something like, oh, hey, Peter. Like
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, what do you think? Was
I
that
wouldn't mind
writing
that.
Or is that garbage?
That could be also some kind of weird love triangle in the next one.
Well, the way I saw it was, he has to let MJ go. And
that's what I think. I think that part of his, maybe not.
And then I thought, is Gwen Stacy now going to come in?
Yeah, that would be interesting. I like it.
Yeah.
You know what? You get a pass.
Yeah. Do I win the competition?
You win the competition. You get a ribbon.
You're out in the quarterfinals.
The biggest idiot just wrote the dumbest scene.
Yeah,
I don't mind that.
I would have liked that.
I don't mind that.
My pitch.
Or he walks by, there's a man there crying as well. And it's his version of Doc Ock crying for his wife. Terrible.
I wanted to bring up, did you guys like the change to the Statue of Liberty?
No.
You didn't like she has the shield?
The shield?
I don't know.
I guess in the universe, look, I saw it first.
Why didn't you like it? Yeah.
I was just like, but then in that world, I guess it kind of makes sense. But when I first saw it, I was just like, I was kind of like,
you love landmarks. You don't want anyone to fuck with them.
You love.
Don't
Lady
you dare
Liberty.
change the statue.
If anybody touches that beautiful lady holding that torch, I don't know. I thought
didn't like
much.
it. Yeah.
When they were putting like the shield and the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, it wasn't like sentimental from like everything that.
This is what I'm saying. When I first saw it, I was kind of like, this is
cheesy.
Yeah. And then it kind of makes sense in that world because they've done so much.
Yeah.
It makes sense. So I'm okay with it. But when first reaction was just like, oh come on.
What if it was a statue of Captain America instead of her? They knocked it, repurposed it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When I first saw it, I was kind of like, this is cheesy as fuck. But then it makes sense.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I know you guys touched on Daredevil already, but I just wanted to bring up, I don't know if you remember, but Jon Favreau's Happy?
Yeah.
He plays Foggy in Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Ben Affleck's,
Oh my God, man.
Apparently there's a really good director's cut of Ben Affleck's Daredevil that really works
Just
well.
shut up right now.
For all of you listening out there that love Daredevil.
Oh my God.
Was it Favreau? No, I don't think so.
Oh my God. Whoever did, I don't think's working anymore because that was.
I think it was someone big actually.
Oh God.
Oh, that's the show. I think it's possibly someone big.
Whoever it was, man, they messed that up. That's worse than Spider-Man.
Mark Steven Johnson. I don't know.
Next thing I wanted to bring up, the first post-credit scene, Venom.
Venom.
How do we feel about that?
Wasted, I think.
Yeah. Garbage.
Wasted.
Didn't like that little bit of.
That's the only thing that they kind of open up for the fact that Venom could be in the MCU.
It's just like a possibility, but at the same time, you could have just done a comet landing like later on. Who gives a fuck?
Like
why do you have to?
3.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have mind seeing a J. Jonah Jameson son because he's supposed to be an astronaut in the comics.
That's right. Yeah.
He goes to the
and in Spider-Man too.
And comes back with it. Maybe cast that as a big actor.
That could be cool.
That could be. Well, I think
there's three people: Flash Thompson, Eddie Brock, and J. Jonah Jameson.
But the new Venom movies are all like
Eddie Brock.
Sony's property, so they haven't agreed to anything. So they left that in there. They might cast their own guy as Venom if Sony works something out and they keep Tom Hardy.
It. That's true.
Yeah, they've opened it up, and he could still be that.
So if you guys could pick, if you had opportunity, who's the next villain for Holland Spider-Man films?
I don't know.
Is it Venom? Do you want Venom?
I don't know if I do want that.
They showed that like the crack in the space time, whatever.
Yeah.
They showed like all the flashes of people who know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So there was I watched like a couple. There was like I don't know, Scorpion and like I can't
Scorpion could be cool. They haven't done it. People mentioned is it Vulture? No.
Vulture
was in
sorry, Craven the Hunter.
That's the one.
Craven, a movie coming out with Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Ah.
Yeah. For Sony's.
Anya Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, Anya.
Really?
What I also wanted to ask, is Morbius in this? Because obviously...
No, he's part of Sony.
But Michael Keaton's in...
Yeah, he's in it.
Vulture.
He's a part of the universe.
Is he? He's in the movie.
And in his... Well, we've only seen trailers, but in the trailer, there's a poster of Spider-Man as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Spider-Man in this universe, but is it Tom Holland? And is Sony just...
I think it is because Michael Keaton's in Morbius's universe. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's interesting.
And because Morbius is a vampire... Is Blade going to rock up here?
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah, is Blade going to rock up here?
Now you're talking.
Do you think this is where we first see Blade?
I'm talking Spider-Man, Blade, Daredevil in the same movie, Venom, Vulture as well.
Who else could it be? Like, I think everybody wants to see a good Venom versus Spider-Man.
But you know what? Like, this movie is so big, so many villains, so many characters. The next one,
how are you going to top it off?
How do you top it? Or do you bring it down a notch?
You have to.
But what do you do?
Street level Kingpin.
Is it?
But I think it is also going to have like a big part of like the Doctor Strange movie is going to have a massissive part on like where they're going to go from this, because the whole like
with the multiverse,
or whatever.
Or what can happen now?
How they are going to go forward from this point on now?
Yeah.
Because now they've introduced the fact there is multiple universes where they're going to go for. I think that movie is going to maybe give you a glimpse into what they are thinking about doing. You're not going to top this movie, unless I don't know what there's. Yeah, I don't think you're going to top in terms of like.
It's hard. It'll be really hard to top it. Yeah.
So I think they're going to make a great movie. They just do that. They just bring out great movies. So the movie's going to be
for No Way Home. Like, not it's a better movie, but I felt more for No Way Home than Endgame.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, 100%.
Like those two characters,
100%.
Versus those 10 others.
10. Like 10 v 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because
you just felt so much.
It's the emotional connection, nostalgia.
Endgame is still amazing.
Yeah, of course.
I'm with you.
It's so much nostalgia with one character.
Like a COVID society, like I reckon that movie could have made nearly just as much as Endgame. Maybe.
Money, baby, money.
Because they say the three biggest superheroes in comic books, like made the most money: Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. So Spider-Man's made more than any of the other Avengers.
Yeah.
So
it's a huge character. Huge character.
Like, yeah, I just can't like.
We've lived with Spider-Man for so many years.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that.
I didn't watch any of those garbage Batman movies.
Yeah. Shut up.
I never watched any of them. So the first superhero movie I actually watched was the first
Spider-Man.
Even a lot of like Spider-Man cartoons, like the 60s one.
Yeah, exactly.
TV
yeah, I never watched any of
those
that.
were great.
So that was the first movie I saw. So I love that movie so much. And that's why if you brought back those two guys.
So much connection,
like, I've got mad nostalgia for the first trilogy.
Yeah.
Fucking love Garfield in the second trilogy. And now the trilogy, and you just incorporate all of that into this one thing. You just, like I said, I was just sort of sat back there and smiled. People were cheering and clapping and jumping up and down. I should fuck up.
Shut your
mouth. I just
mouth.
sat back. I just had like a big smile on my face. I'm like, how good is this? Like, you never thought, like, I never thought it would happen.
Here's a question. Did anyone else as a villain miss out on returning to this film apart from Harry Osborn? Oh, wait. No, two Harry Osborns. There's Franco for obvious reasons because he's cancelled.
Okay, this is my trivia, so I'll give you the list.
All right, go on.
Franco's Hobgoblin, Topher Grace's Venom.
That's right.
Dane DeHaan's Green Hobgoblin as well.
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti's Rhino.
Rhino.
And Michael Keaton's Vulture are the only live-action Spider-Man supervillains not to return. Anyway, if you had to pick one, who would you pick?
Who would you bring back?
Vulture?
I think Topher.
I would have brought...
You would have brought back Topher. Spider-Man 3 is the best movie.
What if at the end...
If Franco wasn't
cancelled,
dickhead.
I think so as well. If he wasn't cancelled and out of it for obvious reasons.
Oh, but him dying in 3 is like a good arc.
Yeah, but imagine he fixed him and his dad at the same time.
He's just out there fixing the entire Osborn family.
It's weird because then no one died.
All right, but what about this final scene? One more comes out and it's the Rhino. He's like, I am the Rhino.
I'd love that.
That's such a bad scene.
Again, like at the last 5 seconds of the film.
Oh, God. I don't know. I think,
those are the ones left out.
I think they left him out for good reasons.
Yeah. Those are the good ones.
Except for Michael Keaton, but he's in Morbius, so he's got his movie.
I don't think he's in it long.
Nah, but he shows up, I think. So
all right. So second post credit scene, Doctor Strange.
Pretty much a trailer,
Doctor Strange 2 trailer.
Obviously, something big's going to happen because they did reshoots.
More gargle.
They weren't apparently, when you hear reshoots, you're like, oh God, what did they do to the film? Yeah. They want to introduce more stuff because of No Way Home.
Right.
If you get to pick, who do you want? There's options is X-Men.
No, Eric Banner's Hulk.
Eric Banner's Hulk.
God.
That's all I want. Hulk. Blade. I don't know. Where do you see
Eric Banner's Hulk and the dog Hulks? I want
the Planet Hulk.
Planet Hulk full of Hulks.
Them back in the MCU.
I want the whole planet.
I want a redemption arc for the dogs. They got a very bad.
You know what?
Or do you want to see like another Avengers, but with all different actors? Like I don't know. There's so many possibilities.
Like another universe where it's still the Avengers, but all different actors.
But you see, like Captain America's, like I don't know, like maybe a woman. Like, just like what if, you know what I mean?
Right, like a what if thing situation.
What's your
I think I'm a sucker
for Reed Richards.
Reed Richards, Fantastic Four, only if it's John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as the two heroes. Otherwise, it's definitely X-Men for me.
X-Men?
Yeah. But like, it has to be a good X-Men character. Imagine it's Wolverine and it's recast and it's like a great actor.
That thing came on Instagram, like he did some with Feige.
Yeah.
Possibly a photo. It's a little if that happened, I can't.
Brother.
Wolverine is probably
again, I pass out a
biggest
So where am I?
I think I'll agree with Sin.
X-Men?
Yeah.
Are you a Fantastic Four fan?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Right,
not at all. When the first one I watched,
first two.
I liked them, but I was young. I liked everything.
They were pretty garbage, but we watched anything.
Garbage, And then Fan Force Stick or whatever, that was just pure garbage. So,
Fan Force Stick.
not like G'd up. I don't really care what they do with that.
X-Men would be cool though.
X-Men would be the only one that I think would be the coolest thing. And
Wolverine?
the whole Wolverine thing would be fucking insane.
Could this movie be better than No Way Home?
Which movie?
With
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse?
With these possible cameos.
It
depends what the cameos are.
Exactly.
That's the thing. But imagine your greatest, this movie, No Way Home gave us your greatest dreams. Possible.
What's your other greatest dream?
I told you, it's Wolverine. Because I don't really have, because everything else is the MCU.
What about if they bring back McAvoy and Fassbender.
Oh,
dude,
because they're still young.
They can still
play
do
it for another 15
You guys know
years.
I love Fassbender so much. If he came back,
this is how it would be better.
Steve Jobs is Fassbender in Multiverse.
Dude, he's like one of my favorite actors. I just feel like he's just not doing enough.
I'll tell you what, it would make it for me.
And I do love McAvoy. I love them both. They're so good.
They're so good.
X-Men crew. What if it's that X-Men crew and Hugh?
No, I'll give you something.
We might be on the same.
No, I'll give you what would make a better film for me. They bring Fantastic Four.
The old one?
No. New cast. They bring like at least 2 characters from the X-Men. Like it could be them 2 and maybe Wolverine.
Yeah.
And if Blade makes an appearance, it's better for me.
Wait, which Blade? Mahershala?
Mahershala.
Wesley?
Nah, Mahershala.
Okay.
But Wesley. Wait a minute. Nah, Wesley.
Wesley Snipes comes out.
For me, Superman pops out.
The only thing that would like top it is probably if you have Wolverine.
Should we make a list?
McAvoy, Fassbender's
Magneto, Professor X,
and Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique.
Nah, she's done with it.
I just said that as a joke.
She's done. You're fucking hate
officially done.
Yeah, I don't really care too much about it. I thought you were going to kick up a stink.
This mic is on fire.
Wolverine,
it's a tough one.
Even if they bring back for me Fassbender's Magneto, they can't beat this movie. They can't. I don't care who
It's
you bring
the
out.
emotional connection with Spider-Man and the character, which does it.
If you saw the X-Men fight the Avengers in an alternate universe,
that'd be great.
He's in between and he's trying to get out of it.
Stop it. All right, cool. Well, let's get into some trivia for No Way Home. What do you got for us, Dane?
I've got a couple of things.
So this is all in Dane, and I'm going to lose because I'm really bad.
No, we're not playing trivia.
It's not a trivia game. It's I just got fun facts.
Nem just got flashbacks of our movie trivia game.
I'm really bad at remembering those sort of things.
Who won that? I can't remember.
Was it you by 1 point?
1 point.
Oh.
Thanks for reminding us, asshole.
So when's the next one, by the way?
It's coming.
Coming?
In the next month, I think.
I'm 100% for it.
In the next month.
I had a great time, even though I know nothing.
I've been learning, baby.
I'm going to get a lot of film history books, and I'm going to fuck you.
I'm going to read all these books.
He knows like 1940s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie Chaplin.
No, sorry. All right. Trivia. Couple facts for you guys.
Here we go.
Up. Like in the original Spider-Man movie, Willem Dafoe once again wore prosthetic teeth as Norman Osborn, and his real teeth were shown in the Green Goblin persona.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
that's
I
cool.
It was just his normal, crazy fucking teeth.
Defoe teeth. Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch had admitted to not reading the full script, wanting to surprise himself with the final product.
Good.
Oh, wow.
But he was in the end, so he would have saw them.
Yeah.
Hey, is that Tobey Maguire down there?
Yeah, who's this? Is that Garfield?
Like He's trying to have some surprises.
He was excited for the film. It's good to hear.
Yeah,
I like
he's
that.
a fan.
He's a fan.
Like how crazy he is. Willem Dafoe went to the premiere wearing a green face mask.
Yeah, of course he did.
My man.
Of course he fucking did.
And then he said, "Wait, what premiere am I at?"
Where am I?
So in the other bit about Ned, is it Ned Leeds? What's his name? Ned.
The character's name?
Yeah,
I
is it
think
Ned
so.
Leeds or Ned Cheese?
We should have it right here somewhere. Ned's teeth. Ned Leeds.
Ned Leeds. Yep.
Yeah, Ned Leeds.
So Ned wonders aloud whether there is another Ned out there after he encounters characters from a parallel universe. In the comics, Ned Leeds is a Daily Bugle reporter who gets brainwashed into becoming the Hobgoblin.
Oh.
So you know how he asks him, "Hey, did your best friend? Did you have a best friend?" Yeah, he tried to kill me and he died in my arms.
That's right. Oh, there's foreshadowing there.
Do you think so? Maybe he's like a magic Hobgoblin.
Magic Goblin.
Magic Goblin. Maybe.
That'd be interesting. That'd be pretty cool. Actually,
that could be a storyline.
And then Peter doesn't know.
No, Peter knows, but he.
Yeah, Peter. So he knows, and like
he's got this internal conflict.
Yeah.
Do I kill this guy? But this guy doesn't know who I am.
Great fourth movie.
God, something there.
So earlier drafts of the film were very much different than the finished product.
Here we go.
The script primarily focused on Peter's galactic adventures with a character based on space, probably Skrulls. You know, the green. I think they're the green.
Yeah, the green ones.
Captain
Yeah.
Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or Captain Marvel, as hinted in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man: Far From Home, because you know how what's his name? Nick Fury's with
Nick Fury. Yeah, that's right.
However, the storyline was dropped in favor of setting up Secret Invasion, a completely new script was written after the new deal between Sony and Disney in 2019. So
yeah, right.
Secret Invasion, I'm not too familiar with that storyline, but is that, I'm
not too sure.
another
I've heard it
alien
before.
type? Yeah.
No idea.
So this wasn't even the first idea. So they didn't have this straight away, not till Sony and Disney struck a deal. Remember, because they had that big feud.
Well, they needed to plan these things for ages and have a backup plan, I guess, to make sense.
Exactly. The shot of the highway has a sign saying that traffic is leading to George Washington Bridge, best known in Spider-Man lore for being where Gwen Stacy was killed in the comics. Meanwhile, the highway itself is shown to be near the Queensboro Bridge, also known as the bridge that Green Goblin dropped Mary Jane from Spider-Man in the original. So, yeah, a bit of, they've done their research.
It's a circle.
It's like a circle.
It's a circle.
And then, my last one was all the villains that we spoke about.
Yeah, who didn't show up. That's great.
Yeah, like we're saying, do you reckon they all got together and go, fuck, I didn't get a call.
Where was my paycheck, Dane DeHaan?
I know. So those are all my trivia there, but
that's a
pretty cool stuff.
Like, they shot this from this angle. Didn't want to get too much into it.
That's cool. I do like the Willem Dafoe doing the green mask.
His name one's pretty interesting.
That's cool because that's for
those, like little Easter eggs. Because I watched that whole you've seen the same when he's swinging through New York with MJ. The same cart is pictured as the one that was in the Spider-Man 2
cart.
Yeah, so when which one's the one where he has to save MJ from the Green Goblin? Is that one?
That's one.
One.
That parade, the parade that's happening? No.
Right at the end when there's he has to choose between MJ and the kids in the
that
exact cart is in the Spider-Man No Way Home.
So they did a lot of
little.
There was a bunch of
so much little things,
but I think
flashbacks.
But I think that's why, because they wanted to just make it all kind of seem like it's a similar story, but done different to obviously bring up the point that it's like a different universe that it's been happening in. But similar things are in all three of the movies.
Things just happen again.
It was great.
So good.
Another Easter egg or another thing someone brought up. You know how he fights Doctor Strange? And you think, how is he doing this? You go with his spider sense, right?
Oh yeah, I know.
And they say it's all his unconscious, but they're saying that all the Spider-Man spider sense are connected through like an interdimensional web.
Ooh.
And it's like the vibrational pool of each connects them all.
Wow.
And that's how he's able to fight, because he's on both planes at the same time. It's not just his subconscious, it's also being in other dimensions and different multiverses.
He's not just Peter Parker when he goes to bed. He's Miles. He's Aaron's Toby. He's Garfield.
So that was pretty cool too.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. I've got a question for you guys as well. There's a little up and coming film, which is The Flash. Is it The Paradox? Flashpoint.
Great.
Which is a
great animated film that you recommended to me 10 years ago.
That's right.
10?
Yeah.
Bro, it would have been 10 now. Yeah. It's just up to high school,
You know what's the other Easter egg in the film? I think you missed it, but it's Flash Thompson's book that he writes about Peter, and he calls it Flashpoint.
And it's a dig.
It's a dig at DC. That was cool. But my question is, that movie, Flashpoint, that's coming out,
similar?
In a similar sense, it's the Flash. It's the Flash from other universes as well, but it's also gone back and bringing Michael Keaton's Batman, which we mentioned before, which Dane loves, which you hate.
I've never seen it, so I can't comment. But
do you think that movie? Let's get nuts.
As long as they bring Arnold's Freeze back, that's all I want
Mr. Freeze.
That's all I want to see.
That's cool.
That's all I want to see.
Mr. Freeze needs a better movie. He's a good character.
Thing is, though, he was there's a Batman cartoon show that was very popular in the 90s called Batman the Animated Series.
That's right, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they introduced Mr. Freeze in one of the episodes. That episode won an Emmy because of how deep it was.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to save his dead wife. Who's cryogenically frozen, but he was looking for a man.
His character's deep.
Yeah, so they really... Yeah.
But they made it for kids.
Mark Strong.
The Batman Part 2 is around Mr. Freeze. Just putting it out there. That's another...
Robert Pattinson's.
From those very first podcasts we did, and all those rumors, is the next rumor I found.
Hottest rumor right now. Mr. Freeze, Batman 2.
Yeah, main villain in Batman 2.
Oh, wow. Do you think that movie could do anything in a similar way that this movie has done?
Unless they bring all the Batmans back.
They've got Affleck and they've got Michael Keaton confirmed for this.
What about Bale?
They don't have that.
You know what's going to be tough though? Like you said, first movie you watched superhero proper was Spider-Man movie, right?
So long ago.
Yeah, not 89 Keaton, who's going to be that young and like want to go? The box office revenue won't be the same.
A lot of people would though, like the older generation. Yeah,
I reckon they might be over it. They're like, he's not my Batman. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you know what?
I remember when Batman
it's been too long to sort of
Superman.
I think
too long to be relevant.
I think but I think an older generation, their Batman is still Michael Keaton. I've heard a lot of people.
Are they going to go watch the movie though?
I think they will. I've heard a lot of older than me.
I'm fucking going to Flash.
Let's say like you're in your 30s.
Yeah.
I think
we are.
I'm talking.
But like later 30s.
I'm thinking like my parents' age. Like
that's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because those movies weren't really made for an adult audience.
Would have been like 20.
But those movies, like I just know this, they were made for kids and made for toys.
Batman 1 wasn't, and Batman 2 wasn't. Batman Returns.
That was the later ones.
Batman 3 and 4 was.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
I'm telling you, there's a fan base out there.
I know there's a fan base, but is it going to be like Toby? Like I was talking to
not too sure.
Someone at work who's I think she's 21, 22. She was saying Toby was her generation. I'm like, you would have been only like 2 or 3,
right,
when it originally came out.
If they bring all those Keatons, it's going to be fan service for
all the Keatons.
All the Keatons.
There's multiple Keatons.
So if they bring back the Keaton,
Keaton and Affleck,
that's just going to be like.
I think
I'm not really that bothered by
if they somehow sneak in Christian Bale into it, I think that could. No, but if they somehow do it,
that's the way. That could possibly match it.
Yeah.
I can't see.
I think it could,
man.
bro.
If it did,
because I love Toby, I love Garfield.
You don't love Bale?
You don't love Bale?
I love Bale, but I don't love
Keaton.
And Affleck.
And Affleck was okay, I guess.
What about
you? Liked Affleck?
I liked him as
good Batman in a bad Batman.
No, I don't think he was. But I wouldn't put him up there. I'd still say Christian Bale is the best one, and then the only other one that I know is then like Affleck. So like I've only got those two.
Val Kilmer,
George
Clooney.
Never seen any of those, so that's what I'm saying.
I think it'll be hard to top it.
It's set after the Batman. Like it's going to release. Could we see Pattinson?
No. Ooh, no, I don't think you'd leave that alone. Just bring Mr. Freeze.
I've heard also that's going to be a different universe.
Yeah,
it's set in a
multi. Fuck, I don't know. I think it's hard to top it.
I can't
see it.
Soon. You're telling me you can top.
If you saw Christian Bale,
as
it'll be cool, but not Toby.
But as in like a big role, like they did with No Harem.
That could for me, I think.
One, I just don't see Christian Bale
coming back for that. And Nolan's universe is so different from
It's a completely different.
I feel like Nolan would be like, why the fuck did you go?
Emma, guess what? They put my Bale in.
I just can't see. Well, I guess that's what I would have said about the 3 Spider-Man, but
it'll be hard to top it.
Christian Bale will be the only thing I'd be excited about.
Yeah.
Like everything
You're not
else,
a Keaton fan.
Be like whatever. Like Affleck, and Keaton.
I think it'll do it for me. I am a Keaton fan, and I watched the Batman films in the 90s when I was a little kid, and we loved it, and my brother and I and everything like that. So I grew up with it, so I do have that nostalgia.
For me personally too, yeah.
And I think fucking Christian Bale is the best Batman we've ever had, and I think Affleck was a great Batman.
You're the Garfield
in not a great universe of movies.
You're saying Affleck's Batman is as good as Garfield's Spider-Man?
I think so.
Yeah. That's like a big. Because when it came out, everyone's like, Affleck was good, but the movie was garbage.
Exactly.
No, he was okay.
I think he's good in every one of those movies except for the Joss Whedon version. That one he wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, saying that he's just as good. So
we're saying fair. The hype still won't get No Way Home.
I can't. For me, it's not.
Yeah, only if they bring Christian, I think.
Yeah. Only if they bring Christian.
Lock it up.
Gotcha.
Lock it up.
Yeah.
Let's end it with: is No Way Home possibly the greatest superhero film ever made? If not, what are our top 3 superhero films so far now that we've seen all of these?
I'll let Dane
give us your top 3. We'll go around.
Can I just start with my top 1?
Yeah, let's go with 1.
Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1, 3.
No way.
It's fucking hard.
It's really hard.
It's really hard,
I
man.
feel like I want to.
I think I have my 3.
They were great, but this just hit me on another fucking level. I just wasn't as.
No Way Home's
It hit me so hard.
Just everything. Like there wasn't a time. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. This is your.
I'll just pick one of my 3 in not it's the top of my list. Batman Begins. You go next.
That's one of your greatest superhero movies of all time.
Yeah.
Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for me. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this is probably my favorite superhero movie of all time.
Done.
My favorite. Yeah. No Way Home.
Do you have
a
a 2 and 3?
Yeah. So then will be The Dark Knight. Very, very close second.
Okay.
I love that movie.
Then
and
Fantastic
3, and then
X-Men Last Stand.
Four stick.
4 stick. Yeah.
I just can't go past Michael B. Jordan as the torch.
The Human Torch.
The Human Torch was denied.
And Clone.
And then, like in that third spot, you can just chuck up like a bunch of stuff, man. Like the Avengers, like movies were great, like the Endgame stuff. Like
one of those.
Yeah, maybe they were just great. Just seeing everything, like
for you.
Not really.
All right, can we do a top 5? Throw some X-Men in there.
Top 3, maybe not the X. Again,
that's a tough one.
Is No Way Home your greatest superhero?
For me, and I think it does change from time to time, but I am a sucker for Batman Begins, even though I do recognize that Dark Knight is a better superhero film. But my personal choice is Batman Begins, then it's Infinity War, and then it's Spider-Man 2.
Cool.
Tobey Maguire's.
Yeah. Okay. I concur with that.
You concur?
I concur.
Dane, what's your 2? What's your 2 and 3?
I can't give you a.
Just
I like your 3.
What's up there?
I like your 3.
If Spider-Man 2's got to be up there.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's it. Like that would be,
but
top range.
I want to
top tier. Like you don't have to give me 1, 2, and 3.
No Way Home is a better superhero movie.
Yeah,
it could be the best.
Yeah,
considering like this,
I think so.
There was just so much.
A movie. Spider-Man 2 is still a better movie.
Yeah,
for me.
It's a standalone.
I love it.
The reason for me, it's a standalone Spider-Man film. It's just his journey. Just the way The Dark Knight is one of the greatest Batman films. It's him. He's fighting. There's no conclusion. There's no beginning. It's just a great Batman film.
Yeah.
The same way Spider-Man 2 is. He's in the middle of the story. He has it's a great movie. There's great emotion, great actors, everything.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's like I think Dane's right. Like it's so.
Yeah.
Like this is one of my favorites, but now like I bring up The Dark Knight and I'm like, oh my God, I fucking love that movie so much. And I remember that movie as well.
And how it felt,
so being like, is it the best or is it not? Like Dane's probably right in saying like it's weird to put numbers.
Yeah.
I don't want to because as soon as I said and you're excited.
You're excited by this film.
Dark Knight second. I'm kind of like, oh fuck, man. Like, I don't want to say that about that Batman because I fucking love that movie so much.
Yeah, true. It's up there. They're all up there.
They're just great fucking movies. Like, you know what I mean? But they're still not my favorite movies of all time. You know
I think it's
so
hard to.
It's just like it's a very specific.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If you're just looking at it through that one lens.
The other thing is you have to probably give No Way Home like another year and rewatch it and sit with it.
I'm gonna rewatch it in the cinema at some stage again, man.
You got to sit with it for a while before you can make that call because we've been with these other films for so long and you make that call over the years.
I don't know. I can't even. Yeah,
it's a tough one.
Count on my hands.
Great films, all great things.
But
yeah, that wraps it up. I think.
I think 5 out of 5 is a near perfect movie.
Yeah,
no,
I agree.
5 out of 5.
Yeah, there's not
Letterboxd 5 out of 5.
I would give it a 95% Rotten Tomato.
Ooh, no 5%.
Yeah.
He's still angry about the fact that Spider-Man
nitpicks. Why would he make that decision? Damn it!
5% off.
Why would he do it?
But he was happy with
Martha.
Why did you say that name?
So ridiculous.
Such a great Batman in a bad.
For a man who's got a show about movies, you contradict yourself.
Look, it's
like
so.
Skip Bayless in sport. Like what was Kevin Hart said to Skip Bayless? He's like, I've never seen a man make so many like ridiculous calls and still wake up the next day and be like, yeah,
it's great. It's all subjective. We love film. Things change. Opinions change. But No Way Home, such a great film. Definitely going to rewatch that many, many times.
100%.
It's been good breaking it down. Thanks for listening. If you like this, subscribe. Watch some of our other episodes. We'll have plenty more coming out. Movie trivia game. Next month or so. If you haven't seen the first one, check it out.
Back-to-back championship.
It's fun. There's a lot of questions.
I'm just there to have a good time.
It's going to be great. Play along with us if you haven't before. And thanks for watching. Dane, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Sid.
Nem, welcome back. It's great to have you back.
It's great to be back.
I hope I haven't offended you with any of my nitpicks for the movie.
No, you haven't offended me. I just, yeah.
You definitely came back with me with some good points. I respect them.
I hate you.
But there's always you gotta stay fair.
Yeah,
you gotta nitpick.
All good.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.